The Imperial patrol ship Voritha's Spear drifted silently through Sector 19, its scanners sweeping across the endless void. Captain Reldar sat in his command chair, staring at the star map projected before him. It was supposed to be another quiet shift, just another patrol through forgotten space. But something about this region always made his scales itch. He glanced at his navigator. Anything yet? The young officer shook his head. No, sir. No signals, no movement. Just empty space. Reldar's tail twitched. Empty space doesn't make that kind of silence, he muttered. For the last 3 cycles, Imperial sensors had detected strange energy spikes near the edge of the galaxy. Faint, unstable, and impossible to track. Many believed it was just static interference from an old battlefield. But the Emperor wanted answers, and the Voritha's Spear was sent to investigate. Suddenly, the lights dimmed. The ship's core flickered for a moment. Report. Reldar barked. Unknown interference, Captain. The engineer shouted from below deck. Power fluctuation across all systems. Trying to stabilize. The crew exchanged nervous looks. The ship's scanners began to distort, lines of static crawling across the display. Then, something appeared. A faint dot. At first, it looked like a sensor error. But as the crew adjusted the range, the dot became a solid contact. No transponder, no ID, no match in the database. Unknown vessel, the navigator whispered. Reldar leaned forward. Size. Smaller than a battleship. Larger than a cruiser. Metal density, off the charts. On screen. The projection shimmered. A dark silhouette emerged from the void, sharp, angular, almost predatory in design. It was blacker than space itself, like a hole carved into reality. By the Emperor. One of the officers gasped. It's not broadcasting anything. No heat signature. No comms. Reldar's eyes narrowed. Then how is it moving? No one answered. The unknown vessel drifted closer, completely silent. Every instinct in Reldar's body screamed danger. He'd seen pirate ships, smugglers, even ancient derelicts, but nothing like this. This ship was alive in a way machines shouldn't be. He ordered a scan, but the sensors failed again. The system refused to process the readings. It was as if the ship didn't exist at all. Try visual magnification. The image sharpened. Strange markings became visible on the hull, white paint, faded with time. Letters. Reldar frowned. What language is that? The comms officer stared in confusion. Unknown. Wait. Matching fragment to old archive. Pre-Imperial era. Human alphabet. The bridge went dead silent. Reldar turned sharply. That's impossible. Humans are extinct. Sir, the database says the letters spell UNSC vengeance. For a long moment, no one spoke. Every record said the humans vanished centuries ago after the Great Collapse. Their homeworld burned. Their colonies abandoned. They were a ghost species, a warning from history. Yet here, in front of them, was a warship bearing their name. Send a hailing signal, Reldar ordered. The officer hesitated. Sir, we don't know if. Do it. Static filled the air. No reply. Then, suddenly, the ship's lights flickered. A deep hum echoed across the void. And then, a voice. Low. Metallic. Human. This is the warship Vengeance. Identify yourself. The sound sent chills through every crew member. Reldar swallowed. This is Captain Reldar of the Imperial Navy. You are in restricted space. Identify your. The voice interrupted, calm but cold. Restricted space? This region was once ours. Reldar froze. Yours. Humanity's, the voice said. And now, we are taking it back. The transmission ended. The black ship powered up, its hull glowing with lines of blue energy. The Voritha's Spear's sensors screamed in alarm. Energy spike. Massive power buildup. Unknown weapon signature. Shields up. Relthar roared. But it was too late. A single beam of light burst from the human warship. It wasn't bright or loud, it was silent, elegant, final. The Imperial ship's shields collapsed instantly. Hull plating melted like wax. The explosion lit the void for seconds, then vanished, leaving only debris. The Vengeance drifted through the remains, its dark hull reflecting the dying embers of the Imperial cruiser. Inside, automated systems came alive. A faint hum filled its corridors. Lights flickered on, illuminating long empty halls lined with human flags, cracked but still proud. A voice echoed through the ship's bridge. It wasn't human, it was the ship's AI, awakened after centuries of silence. Core systems restored. Mission parameters classified. Scanning sector for threats. The AI paused. Detected Imperial presence. Estimated galactic span dominant. Then, from deep within its core, a human cryopod hissed open. A man stepped out, gasping for breath. His uniform bore the same letters, UNSC. His eyes adjusted to the dim light, and he stared at the galaxy map before him. Status report, he rasped. Captain Adrian Cole, the AI replied. You have been in cryosleep for 317 years. Earth is gone. The man closed his eyes, silent for a long time. Then, slowly, he turned toward the stars. Then we start again, he whispered. If they think humanity is gone, let them learn how wrong they are. The ship's engines roared to life, and the void trembled. The Vengeance vanished into the darkness, heading toward Imperial space. Somewhere in the galaxy, for the first time in centuries, humanity had returned. The Vengeance glided through the cold emptiness of space like a silent predator. Its engines made no sound, its trail left no heat. The galaxy around it had changed, new empires had risen, strange languages echoed through the stars, but humanity's name had become a myth. Inside the ship's bridge, Captain Adrian Cole stood before the glowing holodisplay. His face was pale, eyes sharp, and his movements were slow, like a man learning to live again after centuries of sleep. AI, give me a situation report, he said, voice rough but steady. Captain, long-range scans confirm. We are within the borders of the Zarthan Empire. Estimated population, 400 billion. Military strength, classified as extreme. Cole gave a small smile. So, they think they own the stars now. He leaned against the command rail, watching the rotating image of Imperial fleets and colonies. And Earth. The AI paused, its voice softer. Historical records show complete destruction of Sol system by unknown force. No confirmed human survivors detected, until now. Cole looked at the flag behind him, faded blue, white, and gold. Then I guess we're ghosts in their galaxy, he murmured. The AI's tone changed. Incoming transmissions detected. Source, Zarthan Imperial Fleet. Cole straightened. Put it through. The screen flickered, and a reptilian face appeared. Its eyes were sharp yellow, its armor gleaming with gold markings. This is Admiral Carthan of the Zarthan Empire. You have entered restricted space. Identify yourself immediately, or be destroyed. Cole remained calm. This is Captain Adrian Cole of the United Nations Space Command, of Earth. Carthan tilted his head, amused. Earth. That dead world. Impossible. Humans are long extinct. Then I'm a ghost, Cole said quietly. And I don't like trespassers in human space. Laughter filled the comm line. Your kind is gone, Relic. You claim a sector that belongs to the Empire now. You will surrender your ship, and I may spare your life for study. Cole's expression didn't change. You can try. The comm went dead. The Vengeance's lights dimmed, then brightened as its systems shifted into combat mode. AI, weapon status. All primary railguns online. Pulse cannons charging. Nova reactor stable. The captain's voice was cold. Target the lead vessel. Captain, the AI warned. They outnumber us 30 to 1. Cole smiled faintly. Good. I'd hate for it to be too easy. Outside, 30 Imperial warships formed up, their massive engines glowing red. Energy shields shimmered around them like burning halos. To them, this lone dark ship was just a target, an old ghost that wandered into their territory. But ghosts can be dangerous. The first Imperial ship fired, green plasma bolts crossing the void. The Vengeance didn't dodge. Instead, its hull shimmered, the attacks dispersing against a hidden barrier. Then the Vengeance moved. Not like a normal ship. It turned with impossible speed, breaking every law of inertia. Firing solution locked, the AI said. Cole whispered, fire. The Vengeance struck once. A beam of pure energy, thin, white, almost invisible, shot across space. The lead Imperial battleship vanished in an instant, replaced by a growing sphere of light. The remaining fleet froze. Unknown weapon, one shouted across their comms. It destroyed the Targoth in a single hit. Cole stood still, eyes locked on the display. Target the next one. The AI hesitated. Captain, they are retreating. Then remind them why they should run faster. Another shot fired. Another explosion. 2, then 3 ships turned into dust. The Imperial fleet broke formation, panic spreading through their ranks. Inside their flagship, Admiral Carthan roared, all ships fire. Destroy that thing. Hundreds of plasma bolts, missiles, and laser streams filled the void. The Vengeance moved through them like smoke through wind. It was too fast, too smart, predicting every move before the enemy even made it. One by one, the Imperial warships fell. The battle lasted less than 6 minutes. When the last explosion faded, only debris remained. The Vengeance hovered among the ruins, silent once again. Its black hull reflected the dying flames of the Imperial fleet. Cole exhaled slowly. Any survivors? Negative, the AI answered. The fleet has been neutralized. He nodded. Good. Send a signal. To whom, Captain? To everyone listening, he said. Let them know, humanity remembers. The AI hesitated. That will expose our position. Cole smiled faintly. That's the point. The message was sent. A simple transmission, broadcast across multiple star systems. It said only 2 words. We're back. Hours later, far away on the Imperial capital world, the message arrived. High Command gathered in panic. Reports poured in, an entire fleet destroyed by an unknown vessel. The data fragments showed one consistent image, a black warship marked with strange human letters. UNSC Vengeance, one scientist whispered. But that's impossible. Humans were wiped out hundreds of years ago. The Emperor stood at the edge of the Grand Chamber, silent. His long cloak brushed the floor as he turned toward the hologram. What does your analysis say? He asked his advisor. Majesty, the advisor said carefully, if this ship truly belongs to the humans, then they possess technology far beyond our own. The Emperor's eyes narrowed. Find it. Hunt it down. I want that warship torn apart, and its captain delivered to me. He paused, his voice growing darker. If the humans have returned, then we finish what our ancestors started. Back aboard the Vengeance, Cole stared at the stars. He knew what was coming. Fleets, armies, endless war. But deep inside, he also knew something else. He wasn't alone. The cryobays still held hundreds of pods. Sleeping soldiers. Scientists. Engineers. AI, Cole said quietly. Begin awakening sequence. The lights glowed brighter. Confirmed, Captain. Cole watched the first pod hiss open, steam rising into the cold air. Inside lay another human, breathing, alive. The captain smiled faintly. Let's show the galaxy what humanity really means. Outside, the black warship turned toward the stars again, engines burning like white fire. The ghosts of Earth were waking up. The deep hum of power echoed through the corridors of the Vengeance as row after row of cryopods began to open. Mist rolled across the cold metal floor, and the quiet hiss of air filled the chamber. Captain Adrian Cole stood at the edge of the bay, watching the first humans awaken. Men and women gasped for breath, eyes blinking against the light. Some coughed. Others simply stared, confused, trying to understand where they were. "Easy," Cole said, his voice calm but firm. "You've been asleep for a long time." A tall woman stepped out of her pod, shivering. Her name tag read Lieutenant Vega. "Captain, how long?" she asked, her voice trembling. Cole looked at her for a moment before answering. 317 years. The room went silent. Someone whispered, "That can't be right." The AI's voice filled the bay, steady and emotionless. "Records confirm. Year 2839 Galactic Standard. The United Earth Government no longer exists." Murmurs spread among the crew. Fear, shock, sadness. Cole turned toward them, his tone strong now. "Listen up. I know this isn't what we expected. The galaxy moved on without us. Empires rose, species we never met control the stars, but that doesn't change who we are." He looked at each of them. "We are human. And as long as one of us breathes, humanity lives." The silence broke. The crew straightened, discipline slowly replacing confusion. Lieutenant Vega nodded. "Then what's the mission, sir?" Cole gave a grim smile. "We remind the galaxy what happens when they forget humanity." Hours later, the ship's bridge came alive again. Dozens of stations lit up. Voices filled the air as the crew relearned the systems. The AI reported from the central console. Core functions restored. Crew complement, 176 active. Remaining pods, 72 offline, awaiting diagnostics. Cole leaned forward. "Weapons and propulsion?" "All systems fully operational," the AI replied. "However, energy reserves are at 40%. We will need fuel soon." Vega turned from her console. "Nearest resource-rich system is 2 jumps away, Captain. But there's an Imperial outpost there." Cole smirked. "Then we'll borrow their fuel." The crew chuckled softly, the first sound of real life in centuries. The Vengeance turned, its engines glowing white. Then, with a sound like thunder swallowed by silence, it vanished into faster-than-light travel. At the Imperial outpost Varus, 9, the day began like any other. Patrol ships moved lazily through orbit. The officers drank their morning rations and argued about promotions. Then the alarms began. "Unidentified ship entering orbit," the control officer shouted. "No Imperial signature, no ID code." The commander, a short reptilian officer named Dren, frowned. "Put it on screen." A dark shape appeared above the planet, massive and silent. Its black hull absorbed the sunlight, and the letters UNSC Vengeance gleamed faintly across its side. Dren's throat tightened. He had heard the rumors. A ghost ship. A human vessel. But he didn't believe them, until now. He shouted, "All batteries online. Prepare to fire." Before his words could even finish echoing, the Vengeance struck. A pulse of blue light hit the defense grid, and the outpost shields collapsed instantly. Missiles rose to meet the human ship, but every single one was intercepted by its railguns. The battle was over before it began. Cole watched from the bridge. "Disable their communications. I want no warnings sent." "Confirmed," said the AI. "Outpost comm array neutralized." "Now," Cole continued, "bring us into low orbit. We need fuel." Lieutenant Vega frowned. "Captain, what if they surrender?" Cole looked at the burning planet below. "Then they'll live to tell the story." Within hours, human Marines in black combat armor stormed the outpost. The Imperials resisted at first, but their weapons were useless against the advanced shields of the Vengeance troops. A terrified Imperial officer dropped his blaster and raised his claws. "Who are you people?" he demanded. The Marine's helmet tilted slightly. "Humans," he said through the voice filter. "You probably thought we were dead." The officer's eyes widened. "That's impossible." The Marine's tone was calm but cold. "Then start believing in impossible things." By the time the battle ended, the outpost was under human control. The Vengeance's crew worked quickly, harvesting resources, copying Imperial data, and downloading maps of the current galaxy. On the bridge, Cole examined the holographic star chart. "So this is what they've built in our absence," he muttered. "Empires, hierarchies, slave worlds." The galaxy learned nothing. Vega stood beside him. "Sir, what's our next move?" Cole stared at a glowing red star at the center of the map. "That," he said quietly, "is their capital. That's where the Emperor sits, the one who rules this empire that claims to own human space." Vega frowned. "You're not planning." "Oh, I'm planning," Cole interrupted, a thin smile on his lips. "But not yet. We'll need allies first. Information. Maybe even other survivors." He tapped the display. "AI, begin deep space scans. Look for any human signals, old or new." "Confirmed," the AI replied. "But Captain, probability of surviving colonies is below 1%. Cole nodded. "Then we'll find that 1%. Later that night, Cole stood alone at the viewing deck. Stars stretched endlessly outside, their cold light reflecting in his eyes. He whispered, "They thought we were gone. They forgot what humanity can do when it's cornered." Behind him, Vega entered quietly. "You should rest, sir." Cole didn't look away from the stars. "Rest? After 300 years of silence. No, Lieutenant. We're just getting started." Outside, the Vengeance slowly turned toward deep space. Its engines roared softly, glowing with purpose. In the darkness of the galaxy, the ancient warship moved like a shadow of vengeance and memory. For the first time in centuries, human voices echoed among the stars again. And somewhere far ahead, beyond the Imperial borders, a faint human distress signal pulsed weakly in the void. The AI detected it first. "Captain," it said quietly. "Signal found." Cole turned sharply. "Source. Unknown system. But it's definitely human." Cole's eyes hardened. "Plot a course. Let's bring them home." The Vengeance's engines flared, and the warship disappeared into hyperspace. The galaxy had no idea what was coming. The Vengeance sailed through hyperspace like a silent storm. The stars outside blurred into white streaks, and the deep hum of the ship's engines filled every corridor. On the bridge, the crew worked in near silence. Their faces were focused, their eyes locked on glowing screens. Somewhere out there, beyond the endless dark, was a faint human signal. Weak, broken, but real. Captain Adrian Cole stood at the center of the command deck, hands clasped behind his back. "AI, how far to signal origin?" "Estimate, 6 light hours remaining," the ship replied. "Signal appears to come from an unregistered system. No Imperial activity detected." Lieutenant Vega looked up. "Could it really be humans, sir? After all this time?" Cole didn't answer right away. He just stared at the star map, his jaw tightening. It could be a trap. Or it could be the first proof that we're not the last. The AI spoke again. "Signal contains recognizable human code fragments, distress beacon pattern from the old UNSC network." That was all Cole needed to hear. "Bring us in. Prepare landing team." When the Vengeance dropped out of hyperspace, a cold blue planet appeared before them. Thin atmosphere, icy mountains, and an abandoned colony scattered across its surface. "Scanning now," said Vega. "I'm detecting structures, metal domes, half buried in snow. Life signs, faint. Less than 20. Cole nodded. Looks like they've been here a long time. Prepare drop ship. Moments later, the sound of thrusters echoed through the hangar bay. A small craft detached from the Vengeance, descending through the frozen clouds toward the surface. Cole stood at the front of the team, wearing heavy armor marked with the UNSC emblem. Behind him, Vega and 4 Marines followed, their rifles ready. As they landed, wind and ice whipped around them. The colony lay half buried in frost. Towers were broken. Doors rusted. But somewhere deep beneath the ruins, a faint signal pulsed from an old transmitter tower. Cole's visor lit up. This is it. Move in. The Marines spread out, scanning the area. One of them shouted, "Sir, movement inside the structure." Weapons raised. The door creaked open slowly, and a figure stepped out. It was a woman. Thin, wrapped in a torn survival suit. Her face was pale, her eyes wide with disbelief. She stared at Cole's uniform like she was seeing a ghost. You're human," she whispered. Cole lowered his weapon slightly. "So are you." She stumbled forward. "We thought no one survived. Earth fell, everything burned, and we were left here." "How long?" Cole asked softly. "Generations," she said, tears forming in her eyes. "My people were the children of those who escaped the collapse. We've been hiding here ever since." Vega approached gently. "How many of you are left?" 17, the woman said. "Most are sick. We've lost power, food, medicine." She looked at the Vengeance's insignia. "Are you from the old fleet?" Cole nodded. "We are." For the first time, she smiled, a weak, trembling smile. "Then humanity isn't gone after all." Hours later, the survivors sat aboard the Vengeance, wrapped in blankets, eating real food for the first time in years. The crew worked around them, offering supplies and medical aid. The atmosphere on the ship felt different now. Warmer, brighter. Lieutenant Vega looked at Cole. "You did it, sir. You found them." Cole nodded slowly, watching the rescued humans talk and laugh quietly. "No," he said. "We found proof. There are more out there." The AI's voice interrupted. "Captain, I've decoded part of the distress signal. There's a message embedded within it." Cole frowned. "Play it." The screen flickered. Static filled the air. Then a voice, old, broken, but human, spoke. "If anyone hears this, this is Commander Hale of the Artemis colony. We are under attack. Unknown alien forces. Massive losses. If Earth still stands, we need help." The message looped and ended. Cole turned to Vega. "Timestamp. 314 years ago," she said quietly. "The same time we entered cryo." "So someone else survived the collapse," Cole murmured. "And they were attacked." Vega leaned closer. "By who?" Cole's eyes hardened. "We're going to find out." Meanwhile, far across the galaxy, deep within the Zarthan imperial capital, the Emperor stood in his throne chamber surrounded by his generals. A hologram hovered before them, showing the wreckage of Varus 9 and the destroyed fleet from earlier battles. "This ship," said one general, "has wiped out 3 of our patrol groups and captured an outpost. It bears human symbols. We believe it's called the Vengeance." The Emperor's tail lashed the floor. "Humans," he hissed. "Extinct, yet now they rise again. Send word to every sector. I want that ship destroyed." He leaned closer to the hologram, eyes glowing red. "And when you find them, bring me their captain alive." Back aboard the Vengeance, Cole stood alone in the observation deck again. Stars drifted quietly beyond the glass, like tiny ghosts of old worlds. The rescued woman approached him slowly. "Captain Cole," she said softly. "You're really going to fight them, aren't you?" He looked at her. "They burned our home. They erased our history. And now they rule the stars on our ashes." He turned back to the window. "So yes, we're going to fight them." She nodded, her expression firm now. "Then we'll fight with you." Cole smiled faintly. "Welcome to the Vengeance." The AI's voice came through the speakers. "Captain, all systems ready. New coordinates locked to Commander Hale's last transmission point." Cole stepped forward, eyes fixed on the distant stars. "Then let's bring the fire back to the galaxy." The engines roared to life. The ship's black hull glowed with blue light. As it jumped into hyperspace, a faint message remained on the Imperial sensors, simple, clear, and terrifying. "The humans are coming." The Vengeance tore through the blackness of space, hyperspace engines roaring with a silent intensity that few species could comprehend. Every star it passed seemed insignificant, a tiny point in the shadow of humanity's return. Captain Adrian Cole stood on the bridge, hands resting lightly on the rail. Behind him, the newly awakened humans moved with a strange mix of awe and purpose. Generations of sleep had not dulled their spirit. If anything, it had sharpened it. "Coordinates locked," the AI said. "Commander Hale's last known location, System X-479. Imperial patrols detected nearby. Estimated risk, extreme." Cole nodded. "Good. Prepare to drop out of hyperspace close enough to intervene, but not close enough to be seen until we want to be." Lieutenant Vega frowned. "Sir, we're running low on fuel reserves. Should we?" "No," Cole interrupted, calm but firm. "We are the shadow they never saw coming. Hesitation now gets humans killed." The ship's crew obeyed. The Vengeance slipped out of hyperspace, entering the outskirts of the icy system where Commander Hale's signal had originated. Sensors detected dozens of Imperial warships patrolling, scanning the region for any anomaly. "Enemy fleet is massive," Vega reported. "At least 50 ships. And they're heavily armed." Cole smiled faintly. "Perfect. Let's make it memorable." The first move was subtle. The Vengeance's hull shimmered against sensors, masking its energy output. Small drones deployed from the ship, silently weaving through the Imperial fleet, mapping weapons arrays, shield frequencies, and patrol patterns. Cole watched the data stream in. "We hit their command ship first," he said. "Without it, the fleet will fall into chaos." "Sir," Vega said cautiously, "we can't take all 50 at once." Cole's eyes glinted with determination. "We don't have to. Just one at a time." The Vengeance moved like smoke through the formation. Its black hull absorbed the surrounding light, leaving only the faintest trace of its presence. Imperial commanders thought their sensors were malfunctioning, but it was no error. "Fire," Cole whispered. The first beam struck the lead warship with surgical precision. It wasn't an explosion, not really. It was as if reality itself had been rewritten around the target. The hull vaporized, shields shredded, crew obliterated. Chaos erupted across the Imperial fleet. Ships changed formation, shields flickered, communications screamed in panic. "Captain," Vega said, eyes wide. "They're trying to regroup." Cole leaned forward. "Let them. That's when we strike again." The battle lasted hours, but not in the way most thought. The Vengeance moved, struck, and disappeared before the enemy could respond. Railguns fired with pinpoint accuracy, pulse cannons tore through shields, and yet not a single human life was lost. Marines aboard the Vengeance deployed strategically, boarding shuttles, disabling engines, capturing tactical data. Every move was calculated, every strike decisive. Meanwhile, the Imperial Emperor watched from his throne world. Holographic displays showed his fleet's devastation, their ranks broken, their pride shattered. "This is unacceptable," he hissed. "Send more ships. Hunt it down. Find that captain and bring me his head." His generals trembled. "Majesty, the ship, it's unlike anything we've seen. Its speed, its weapons." The Emperor's eyes burned. "It's a human ship. That's all I need to know. Find it." Back aboard the Vengeance, Cole reviewed the data from the skirmish. The Imperial fleet had been severely damaged, scattered across the sector. Only fragments remained capable of sending reinforcements. He turned to Vega. "We can't linger. Commander Hale is still out there, and every second counts. Prep the drop ships." Vega nodded. "Sir, the surface is icy, defenses are primitive. But the enemy could arrive any minute." Cole walked to the observation deck, staring at the distant, frozen world below. "Then we move fast. No one waits for humans to arrive." A shuttle descended quickly, carrying Cole and a team of Marines. As they approached the surface, storm winds lashed against their armor. The snow and ice reflected the dim light from the planet's sun, giving the terrain an almost alien quality. The team landed near the ruins of Hale's colony. Faint movement could be seen, humans, survivors, hiding in the wreckage, tired and starving. Cole stepped out. "We're here to help," he called. A small group emerged hesitantly, eyes wide. You're real," one whispered. Cole smiled faintly. "Real enough to get you off this planet." But the calm didn't last long. Sensors on the Vengeance picked up multiple Imperial interceptors approaching at high speed. "Sir, reinforcements are incoming," Vega reported. Cole didn't panic. "Good. Then they'll learn quickly why humans never go quietly." The team moved quickly, loading survivors into drop shuttles. The first explosions from Imperial weapons shook the ground, tearing ice and snow into clouds. Cole fired his pulse rifle, precise and deadly. Each shot found its mark. The Marines moved like shadows, taking down enemy scouts before they could reach the colonists. Above, the Vengeance released a salvo of railgun fire, slicing through incoming ships with frightening efficiency. The Imperials had underestimated humans, and now they were paying the price. Hours later, the last shuttle lifted from the planet's surface, carrying survivors toward the Vengeance. The storm began to subside. The frozen world lay silent again, abandoned to its secrets. Cole watched the horizon. "Hale's people are safe, for now," he said. Vega placed a hand on his shoulder. "They'll be safe as long as you're in command, sir." Cole shook his head, determination hardening his face. "Not just me. Humanity is awake now. And the galaxy, it's about to remember why they should never forget." The Vengeance roared to life, engines blazing as it lifted into orbit. The hunt was over, for the moment, but the war was only beginning. Somewhere, far beyond the reaches of this system, fleets were mobilizing. Imperial forces would not stay quiet. They would come. But humanity had returned. And wherever the Vengeance went, the galaxy would tremble. The Vengeance cut through the cold emptiness of space, engines roaring with a controlled fury. Captain Adrian Cole stood at the bridge, eyes locked on the holographic map of the Imperial Heartlands. Every line, every planet, every fleet marked a challenge. But this time, humanity would not be hunted, they would strike. "Coordinates locked on Imperial capital," Vega said, voice tense but steady. "Estimated defenses, 300 warships, orbital shields at full capacity." Cole didn't flinch. "Then we hit them where it hurts. Shadows first, strikes precise. We are not charging blindly. Humanity survives by being smarter, faster, and stronger than anyone expects." The crew nodded. The air was thick with tension, but also anticipation. Every human aboard, the awakened, the rescued, the Marines, felt the weight of centuries pressing on their shoulders. They were ghosts no longer. They were the reckoning. At the edge of Imperial space, the Vengeance slowed. The black hull shimmered, almost invisible against the backdrop of stars. Smaller strike ships detached silently, moving to key locations around the capital world. The plan was simple but deadly. Cripple communications, take out orbital defenses, and deliver a warning the Emperor would never forget. Cole's voice cut through the bridge comms. "This is not a war yet. It's a message. One strike. One reminder. Make it count." The first strike teams moved like shadows. They disabled sensor arrays and destroyed communication satellites. Within minutes, Imperial officers aboard the capital fleet were blind and deaf. Confusion spread like wildfire. The Vengeance approached the planet from an unexpected vector. Sensors detected massive flak batteries and orbital defense platforms, but the ship moved with impossible speed. Each Imperial weapon fired, only to be neutralized by railguns and pulse shields, as if they had predicted every trajectory before the first shot was even taken. "Captain," Vega said, tension rising, "they're scrambling everything they can. Command ships are trying to form a blockade." Cole's grin was cold, sharp. "Good. Let them come. Every fleet they throw at us weakens them. Every ship destroyed tells them humans are not gone." The first Imperial flagship exploded in a flash of white energy. Then the next. And the next. The galaxy had never seen precision and power like this. The humans struck fast, hard, and then vanished before retaliation could reach them. Below the planet's surface, news of the attacks spread quickly. Imperial citizens panicked. Soldiers quaked in fear. The idea that humans were back, and that they could strike at the core of the Empire, spread like wildfire. The Emperor's throne room shook with fury. "How is this possible?" he hissed. "They were gone. Extinct." His generals stammered, desperate for solutions. "Majesty, their technology, their tactics, it's beyond comprehension." The Emperor's red eyes narrowed. "Then we will adapt. Hunt them. Crush them. No one survives when the Emperor commands it." But even he could feel the dread building. Humanity was back. And this time, they were not running. Back aboard the Vengeance, Cole stood at the observation deck, staring at the burning edge of Imperial territory. The survivors of Hale's colony now worked alongside the crew, repairing systems, learning how to fight again, and preparing for the next strike. Vega approached. "Sir, the Imperial reinforcements are gathering. They'll be here within the cycle." Cole's jaw tightened. "Then we keep moving. Strike, vanish, strike again. Every ship we take, every world we free, it's a warning to the galaxy. Humanity is awake. Humanity is dangerous. And humanity never forgets." The AI interrupted. "Captain, long-range scans detect multiple human signals across unknown systems. Could be other survivors." Cole's eyes gleamed. "Then we're not alone. Prepare a fleet. Every ship we find becomes part of this fight. It's time the galaxy remembers what humans can do when cornered." Imperial fleets converged on the outer system. Hundreds of ships, all armed to the teeth, all ready to destroy the returning ghosts of humanity. Yet the Vengeance moved with impossible grace, picking them apart with surgical precision. Railguns tore through hulls. Pulse cannons neutralized shields. Boarding teams captured critical vessels, bringing back their technology and intel. One by one, Imperial commanders fell. The legend of the Vengeance spread faster than any message. In every sector, whispers traveled. The humans have returned. They are everywhere and nowhere. They do not surrender. They do not flee. They are coming. After the day's strikes, Cole stood alone on the bridge, staring at the glowing horizon of the Imperial capital. Smoke and fire rose from the orbiting fleet, twisted metal floating like ghost ships in the void. Vega approached. "Quiet now. Captain, what happens next?" Cole's voice was low, firm, unstoppable. "Next, we remind them that humans never give up. That when a species fights for survival, it fights with everything. That when humanity returns, the stars themselves tremble." Outside, the Vengeance's black hull reflected the dying light of the Imperial fleets. Engines flared. Weapons charged. Systems hummed with anticipation. The galaxy had heard the whispers. Now, it would hear the roar. Cole looked at Vega one last time. "Plot a course for the next human signal. Every survivor we find strengthens our fleet. Every strike we make is a promise. Humanity does not forgive. Humanity does not forget. And humanity always wins." The Vengeance jumped into hyperspace, leaving behind a trail of fear and legends. The Emperor's spies would spread the tale for decades. Entire worlds would prepare for war, but it would never be enough. Because humanity had returned. And the galaxy would never be the same again.